Poet. My name is Parker Reinhardt, and I'm going to change the world. I'm currently 14 years old and just started high school. I'm obsessed with anime, Naruto Shippuden being my favorite. I'm an author, or poet to be exact. I've had a hard life, so pouring out all my feelings as words on a page is how I cope. I'm writing a book called The Rebels. Holly says it eventually becomes a cat cartoon of ours. Yep, 12. I make other stuff too, like origami, polymer clay figures, and I also play piano.
Lame!
Hey! Oops. I have to be careful with my powers. Fire can bring warmth and light, but it can also destroy. It's something I'm learning to control. Something I carry from my past that I'm trying to love. But it's hard when you're burning bright for everyone around you, despite being at your wit's end. I don't know who I'll be after graduation, but I do know who I am right now. Wild, strong, and full of heart.
Zombie boyfriend.
I live with my little brother Aura and my mother. She's found herself a new boyfriend already, one summer after her fiancé Jim passed away. I find it disgusting. Disturbing even. How she seemed to have forgotten him, while Parker mourned the loss of his stepfather every day. My mother sought a new attention source as quickly as possible. A replacement. Jim could never be replaced. Especially not by the likes of this twerp. He was a literal zombie. Some punk rock dude who washed up on our doorstep on his scooter, begging for a couch to crash on. The thing about zombies? Well, if you get bitten, you turn into one. And man, loser disease was spreading like the plague at Mom's house. She turned into a bratty teenager, wearing torn up short shorts and spiked collars, saying, "I do whatever the F I want." So much for having a parent. My mother wields fire much like my own, only hers is meant to harm and consume. I use my powers for warmth and light. She doesn't like that. We don't get along. Good. One thing about me, I'm a rebel.
Starlight.
After my father evicted Candy, his previous toxic girlfriend, we got a restraining order and restored our broken mobile home back to being the funhouse. It took a long time for Dad to date again, and he spent a lot of it sobering up to some extent. Dad went to rehab. We were hopeful. Until he introduced his high school sweetheart, Starlight, a furry woman with a bubbly attitude, creative knack for upcycling, and, sadly, a drinking and smoking problem.
The cycle continued. But this time was better, at least. Starlight would eventually become my stepmother. She was a bright, caring person and a positive influence on me during my teen years. But she brought drugs and alcohol back into Dad's life. She was an enabler.
She would make excuses for abuse and dismiss it,
and we cannot forgive her.
Starlight moved in with her son, Kaba, who was a year older than me. It was weird being the middle child all of a sudden. Dad's rehab certificate became a false promise pinned in the refrigerator. Something to remind me of the possible future Starlight took from me.
The hope that my daddy was alive.
I'm a boy.
There's something to be said about being raised in a small town in the South full of primarily right-leaning white folk with nothing better to do than attack marginalized communities. Because of that background, I had no access to the queer community. I had no verbiage to describe what I was experiencing. All I knew was that in my head, in my own little secret way,
I'm a boy. I stole my dad's Axe body spray. I wore swim trunks since it was the only masculine clothes my family would allow. I never shaved. I never brushed my hair in hopes it would mat so bad we'd have to shave it all off. I covered up my chest with giant jackets and wore constricting sports bras. I practiced walking differently in the mirror, talked lower, quieter, raspier. I put on the act that I was the chill older brother who didn't care. I was tough. I never cried. Like a man. But only I knew I was a boy. No one else could know. I kicked the soccer ball around in the front yard and pretend to hear my dad on the phone saying,
"He's a good kid, Parker. My son, he likes sports. You know, boys will be boys."
I didn't know the word transgender yet, but even without a label for it, I knew what I was.
A boy! Aha! I knew it!
Freshman.
Ugh, I'm going back to my old school for high school. But at least Saint's coming with me. You know, Bluebird. She's not happy about it, though.
Who would be? Our school is basically built to be a prison.
Hey, maybe it's not as bad as we remember.
Huh? My first day of high school, as a little baby freshman, was canceled before it even began. Because if we stepped foot off those buses, we would have been blown to bits.
School shooters spent the summer planting explosives on campus and were armed and ready to massacre every student on day one. But staff acted fast and saved us all.
If this isn't foreshadowing for the rest of my high school experience, I don't know what is.
At least I didn't have to do stupid class introductions and be misgendered all day.
Wait, what?
We're a boy now? Baby, I think we have other things to worry about at the moment.
Forget gender crises. We have to survive the American education system. High school.
So maybe my old school was worse than I remember.
What we put up with because we are legally obligated to, bro.
Segregation was a big issue at that school. I once got surrounded by a group of kids in the quote Chico hallway because I didn't use the white hallway. The admin in charge of the white population,
Yes, the admins were divided by race. What?
overly punished them, and I felt terrible. Outside of the dark details, there were some more lighthearted tales to come from my time there. I've notated some highlights for your amusement. B-Boxer, a legendary student who got so fed up with our trash cans swarming with hornets, he started physically punching them out of the sky. Helicopter Kid thought it'd be cool to jump off the second-story stairs to the bottom, was rushed to the hospital via helicopter. Once he healed, he tried it again! Victor Van Gogh. Two girls got in a knife fight and the winner lost her ear. That was fun to watch at 7 a.m. The golf cart heist. 3 students hijacked the administrator's golf cart and spun donuts in the courtyard. When threatened to get caught, they crashed into the mud and climbed up a tree.
That doesn't even cover when there was a solar eclipse and kids started throwing chairs off the second floor and screaming like it was the apocalypse.
Get me out of here!
We laugh about it later, at least. Driver's ed.
My first class of the day was driver's ed, though I was really anxious about driving.
But Daddy's truck's my favorite. Why are you scared, Parker?
7 a.m. Prime time to traumatize a batch of impressionable young teens into never wanting to drive in a class meant to teach you how.
I was shown video after video of people dying in accidents. Wildly graphic seminars from families affected by DUI drivers. Put through realistic simulations of semi-truck drivers, distracted drivers, you name it, they traumatized me over it.
And you'll be the best driver because of it. Here, Parker, let's simulate walking in a straight line with these drunk goggles on.
Without my glasses?
Yep.
Did I do it?
He doesn't count. My vision is so bad, I get drunk goggles every day for free.
I don't think that's funny, Holly.
Oh god, right. You don't use humor to cope yet, huh? Hanging shadow.
My little brother is an edgelord. And the other eras want to call me emo. He wore all plaid and black cat-eared beanies. His main OC was a wolf girl named Aura, who had OP rainbow powers and blue hair that was dyed by the rain, which is why I call him that. His hyperfixation was that of any kid from the 2010s.
Warrior Cats, Animal Jam, Five Nights at Freddy's,
And creepypastas.
Creepypastas are horror stories that resemble real life and are meant to be scary. They were copy and pasted across the web.
We have to explain what a creepypasta is? Are we that old?
Ancient, I fear.
Aura was big on DeviantArt and YouTube. He made digital art and animations of his OCs and became pretty popular. He was most famous for his creepypasta stories. My personal favorite being The Hanging Shadow.
I actually snapped a photo of it. Basically, my brother saw a weird looking shadow in the tree and made a scary story about it.
That it was a spirit who was hung centuries ago.
Beware the Hanging Shadow! Ah! I hate horror!
Good save.
As per our anime obsessions, we would dedicate our weekends to role-playing outside. Sometimes it was elaborate AUs.
Alternate universes.
Where characters would turn into wolves. Others would be hilarious antics of getting our OTPs
One true pairings.
together. But most of the time it was non-canon.
Not true to the original media.
Hey, Holly.
Yeah?
Can you not?
No! Being a 2010 weeb came with a lot of lingo, kid. You're speaking a whole other language.
Guess your skills are still whip. How disappointing.
That means work in progress.
One infamous roleplay was where we took advantage of a big thunderstorm to up the angst of our dramatic story. The rushing wind and rain pelting like hail was just the edge we needed as Aura's main OC died tragically in combat.
But, my brother's hair started to stand up, and any Florida native knows that means one thing.
Lightning!
Holy shit, Parker. Good save.
Ugh, we're always saving that game!
Skyrim.
Before Jim passed away, we got an Xbox. Blue Jay wanted to connect to play that dumb Big Cat Rescue game, and Bluebird loved Viva Pinata, but I had my heart set on Skyrim.
It's an RPG adventure about medieval times.
And dragons!
Despite it being rated M for mature, Jim still got it for us. I hadn't touched it since Blackbird's era, but there came a summer too hot to play outside, and thus began our Skyrim binge.
Day in, day out, Zane and I would make only the most vile of teenager snacks and beat every storyline, every quest in the game.
Vile? My snacks were epic. We mixed grape juice and Mountain Dew, apple juice and Sprite, made pizza toast and microwave bacon and tortillas, and the classic Hot Pockets and pizza rolls of we were able to afford them.
Say we were poor without saying we were poor.
I don't know what you're talking about. I was rich.
You know what, Parker?
We really were, huh?
Obsession.
Guys, I don't know if you've caught on by now, but I really like anime. I always have an obsession to get me through my worst days. And lately, it's been one Japanese cartoon after another. Zane and Aura, they're my best friends. We do everything together. For each anime completed, we choose characters we identify with most and roleplay them, or create OCs around them. If hearts are bound by strings of fate, each character would be a thread connecting to my soul. Even the silliest of animes, like Sergeant Frog, one of my favorites, I feel such a deep love and connection to the art and story. I'd spend hours closing my eyes, cherishing the OSTs, and letting my spirit drift away into fiction. Even if it was brief, those moments were euphoric to me. But the others moved on from fixations at a rapid pace. And sometimes, I couldn't keep up. I wanted to stay in the bliss of familiarity as long as possible, and often would get left behind.
Parker's such a freaking weirdo.
Right? Like, Italia is so much fun! Slater was years ago, I'm tired of it. Why do we need to move on?
The Rebels. My nanny and papa were insistent that I pursue my writing aspirations professionally.
The poems I wrote to get me through Jim's death were compiled into a book called My Soul Within, an unmasked, unbridled, emotional masterpiece of one of the hardest tragedies of my young life. I submitted the poems to be published. I was ambitious to become recognized as an author at 14 years old, which led to me being taken advantage of, and gravely disappointed.
The publishers not only rejected me, but they tossed all 100 of my most personal art pieces of that era. They're lost to this day.
Blinded by rage, fueled by spite, vowed to never put my passions in the hands of heartless companies again. I would become a self-publisher, an independent artist, even if it meant starving. I became a rebel.
And I started writing a fantasy series called The Rebels. It became my lifeline, my own world to escape to. One that no company could steal for profit. One Zane and Aura couldn't bully me to move on from.
Those 12 characters would grow up with me and guide me to the future I deserved.
Key.
The other eras always pestered me about my hyperfixations, but at least I had some. Ouch.
Why do you like rubber duckies? Their squeaking makes me cry.
But that's precisely why, WC. I'm reclaiming it. Now I collect them. Isn't that awesome?
And you can make sad things happy?
Duh! I did that way before Parker with fireworks! I also had a massive key collection. Antiques, modern, plastic, metal, you name it. I wear my favorite one from the Rebels. The main character, Parker, has this key. His whole story is that he's trying to find his soulmate who has the locket. In their society, everyone gets either a lock or a key at birth. Pretty genius, if I do say so myself.
That jingling is so annoying!
Ow! Hey!
And stop chewing your food so loud! Too bad I never realized Zane didn't have the locket to that key. Envy.
Thanks for letting me borrow the Black Butler mangas, Lady Pink.
'Tis one of the finest of my collection. Parker was a shy one. I didn't make many friends outside of my codependent trauma bond with Zane, but the few I had outside of her were worth celebrating, no matter how silly and cringe it was. Ugh, it's that Naruto freak again. She's always running down the halls with that cloak and headband on. It's no wonder everybody bullies her.
Isn't that what we do though?
No. We're normal about our obsessions. You put the moron in oxymoron.
I wonder what it's like to be allowed to love something to the fullest, without fear of judgment. She looks so happy.
I just want to stop watching her. It's infectious.
But I couldn't be her friend. I couldn't unmask. Not with Zane around.
Semantics.
During the second semester of my freshman year, I took a class called Semantics and Logic. It was a weird class full of even weirder weirdos.
My teacher could only be described, in the modern terms of the internet, something like a Disney adult, except with the cursed wizard book series that shall not be named.
Zane was big into the books and forced me to read her copies. I got caught up to book number 5 before the teacher spotted me reading them. Big mistake.
Told you hiding them with construction paper is a good idea.
I hope her late diagnosis of neurodiversity is going well. Except I don't! Because this unhinged woman
stopped teaching, pulled down the projector, and started to share her crack ship fanfiction with the entire class, calling on us to read it out loud!
Out of everything that Pink in high school put me through, this was the most scarring.
She made them have kids! My eyes! My eyes!
Bathroom.
I gotta pee so bad. I'm like a dying sim at school, I swear to God. That school still had its bathrooms locked? From drugs and fire. I'm dying, Blackbird. How did we do this before? I peed my pants a lot. Just cover it up by tying your jacket around your waist. I don't want to be publicly humiliated again. But peeing on your least favorite teacher's floor is good payback.
Okay, yeah, Miss Budgie deserved that. But it sure is not legal to have no other option but to urinate on an establishment of learning!
The era of UTIs begins now. I'd ride the bus home in agony as it shook me around like a water balloon ready to burst.
Almost home. Almost home. A few more blocks to go. I can make it! I can make it! I didn't make it!
It's not your fault, Parker. I know it's embarrassing, but it was a human right violation, literally. That school.
Quiet.
What's the answer to number 4? Oh, Parker! You don't talk much in the back over there. Why don't you tell us?
I hate the school system. Society deems my worth through productivity. I'm a number, learning to copy and paste and regurgitate unoriginal ideas. Forced into the institution by law. Praised for conformity. Shunned for individuality. They're training us to be mindless workers. To be complacent with picking one career to be devoted to, then abused by. To settle for a house, a wife, some kids, only to truly live in retirement until you're snuffed out early by disease they don't care to cure. Before you can even enjoy the fruits of your labor they tricked you into wasting your life for. They want to exploit us. But I've been exploited enough. I'm awake. I crave art. I crave life. I crave freedom. I seek to escape this mundane, unfulfilling cycle. School isn't important. College doesn't matter. Work is work. But my passions are forever, and I will not answer the call of conformity, even if it costs my reputation.
Wow, I was edgy. Wow, kids, like I always say, you never know with the quiet ones. Parker's like the young boy who disrupted our first day of school this year.
I'm not a school shooter!
Look at him. Look at Parker in the eyes and tell me you think he's dangerous.
These two anime boys should kiss, maybe.
Kiss. In biology class, I made friends with a level 2 autistic kid named Zoe.
I let him talk about his fixations, and we'd stim together. He was a great friend to me throughout the year. But my school had the weirdest, most forced heteronormative tradition around Valentine's Day, where they give paper hearts to guys and expect them to give them away to girls. So gave me his paper heart. I was astonished. It was sweet, but I never felt attracted or romantic towards anyone.
I really like you, Parker. I think we should go out together.
To my absolute horror, he then kissed me on the forehead.
I dropped my books on his feet by accident, stumbled some apology, rejected his confession, and literally bolted for the buses. I felt awful running away like that, but he touched me without consent. And with my past forever haunting me, my instincts made me flee. He was a good person who followed social cues based on movies he loved. I know he meant no harm, but it stuck with me, knowing I ruined his Disney crush proposal like that. But I don't like anybody like that.
Piano.
My dreams have always been vivid, vibrant, colorful worlds full of stories and characters I can remember with intense detail. It's where my best ideas come from. But my dreamscape is also home to one of my greatest superpowers, speaking with the dead. It always happens the same way. I'm in an ethereal version of today's world. Then, I'm struck by lightning, and my body tingles and shakes until I enter sleep paralysis. Whoever is visiting is my guide. The first time, Jim visited me. At first, I was terrified, until he took my hand. He led me through our neighborhood. It was like a garden out of Disney World. It was so extravagant. He talked cheerfully as if he never left. He pestered me about playing the piano he got me for Christmas a few years ago. Then the sprinklers came on, and he pushed me into them and ran ahead. I was laughing so hard I cried, and it cracked with loud thunder once more as the dream faded. I heard him laughing so clearly, as if he was in the room, and when I woke up, he was gone. I took it as a sign, another gift from Jim left behind to make the most of. Blackbird had bear, and I found my piano.
Decision.
Zane went out of state to see her family every summer. When she finally had cell signal, we called, and she helped me make one of the most important choices of my life.
I really want my father to go to rehab again. He was so close to being free, and I believe I found a way to convince him. I want to move in with him. I haven't lived with my father since the custody decision, and I want to give him a chance to be the primary parent. He deserves to see us more. We've practically grown up without him. But you'd be moving schools, huh?
Yeah. And I won't leave unless you say it's okay. We're friends forever, remember?
Duh! I can handle that
at school by myself. I actually have friends, and you don't. It'd be easier if you left.
You think I should do it? We'd be exposed to more alcohol and drugs for a bit, and I'd have to move Aura with me. I'm not separating from him. So it's a big decision for not only me, but him, and you too.
You should save your dad, Parker.
And god damn it, did I try.
Well then, it's settled. This fall, I'll move to Dad's house with Aura. He'll go to rehab, and then the funhouse will be my real home. Starlight will be my real mother. Dad will be Dad again, and every day will be summer, fun, and freedom.
But I thought we weren't meant to be heroes anymore. Parker, did you forget?
Bloopers.
One summer after I freaking deflated because I can't freaking talk.
And a positive influence on me during my 10 years. My 10 years? I promise I could read! I could read!
Melting! Dyslexia's melting people!
She wasn't in
It's okay, Haley. I stole my dad's Bax body spray. Get your exclusive boy-scented Bax body spray, the most manly, masculine boy body spray you can ever buy. With your ballers! With your what? Black cat yurdy bean. I am a dinosaur.
You make a terrible dinosaur.
Rude! I'm not trying.
Well, you should try harder.
Yes, ma'am.
We can make things set.
Oh my god.
Dink your order every time Parker says his water tastes like ass.
Dude, my water tastes like ass. Jesus. Why does my water taste like chemicals? Tastes like ass. Why does water taste like ass?
Challenge impossible. You will drown.
Oh, it tasted bad!